Hello everybody, this is DJ1 for AARF Interviews. Today we hear Ms. Cassandre Miller, CEO of AARF Radio, interview Ms. Alice Roof, who's an animal advocate for the Hardin County Ohio Animal Shelter. They focused on the dilapidated animal shelter itself, which is basically just a big garage. Run down, falling apart, no air conditioning, no heat, and up until recently, no hot water. They talked about the future shelter, which has been in the works for years now. Both agreed the dogs in the shelter are getting the short end of the deal.
Hi, it's Cassie Miller, CEO, AARF Radio. I'm here with Alice Roof of Hardin County, Ohio, who has devoted at least the last 5 years that I'm aware of to the construction of a new county shelter in Kenton, Ohio. Good morning, Alice, and thank you for coming on AARF Radio today.
Good morning. You're welcome.
Tell me now, isn't Hardin County Animal Shelter in the garage over 50 years old?
The Hardin County Dog Shelter is located in a larger garage than what we normally think of, but it's still in a garage, and we have 30 dilapidated pens and just recently got hot water in that garage. So yes, it's very, very dated. Cement is cracked. Pens are falling apart.
I imagine that must be very frustrating for not only you and everyone going into the shelter, but also the dogs. I know there's been a situation where dogs have gotten out of pens because the pens don't latch properly. And, of course, I know they've had heating problems in the winter.
Yes, we do have heating problems in the winter, and in the summer they do open the garage door, but the past couple of days it's been the 90 degrees, so even with the garage door open and a big fan running, it is almost unbearable in the dog shelter.
Now, is it true that Hardin County solely operates on just funds that are raised from dog tags and fines and adoptions and whatever donations they can get in?
That's true. The monies that the dog warden operates the shelter with are the dog tag money, the adoption money, citations, and donations. The county does not provide any funding for the running of the shelter or the salary of the dog warden or her deputies.
So the salary of the dog warden, the salaries of deputies, and the food, the general care, the medicines, everything that the animals need are coming from the tax, fines, and adoptions, basically, and donations.
That's correct. Our local Walmart kindly donate the dog food that comes in on the truck damaged. So all those big, huge bags, they take out to the dog shelter, and we're thankful for that.
I know that I have spoken with one of the commissioners there at quite in depth when a situation happened where because
the quarantine,
I think the amount at one time when I called the commissioner was 12 dogs dead.
Yes.
I believe that has raised now to 23 with 19 dying of Parvo.
I want to say about a month ago, we did have a bad case of Parvo. A dog came in. In the current dog shelter that we have no quarantine area to separate the healthy dog from a sick dog. Unfortunately, 19 dogs were put down due to the Parvo outbreak. Then 4 others were put down just of old age. A couple of them were blind. But those types of dogs, they come in and are dropped off when they're like age 14 or something.
Sadly,
for some reason. And those dogs being put down are bad enough, but a couple of the ones of the outbreak with Parvo, some were puppies. In fact, 2 of them were puppies that had been adopted, and right after their adoption, they called us and said, my dog is really sick. So we did take 2 of the dogs, they were puppies, to local vets here, and they did save the 2 puppies. But it was very expensive. It was about $400 or $500 to save to save the 2 puppies.
Now, yeah. I understand that there has been a substantial amount of money donated to the county for the construction of a new shelter. This money has been sitting for 4 years.
Right.
I spoke with the commissioner. He said that And I totally agree with it as far as waiting till October, where Ohio will lose the prevailing wage law.
Right.
Which was first one was a goofy law anyway. It makes perfect sense for him to wait because we're so close to October. And that will in turn save, when you're looking at most of your costs being labor on a construction, that's going to save a ton of money, or that we can get better things for the, like maybe heated flooring. And I know you want certain cages and things like this. It'd be so nice when building this, they could take into consideration some of the things from Shelter Revolution, which allows for communal living. It's easy, it's cheaper, it's so much better for the animals. Now, I understand with your fundraisers, which are just off. You do T-shirts, you do dog treats, and you've got this wonderful program where you deliver lunch.
Right.
Could you tell us a little bit about that, Alice?
Well, so far we've raised $55,000, and within the past, I'm going to say, couple of years, we got together and we got organized the last couple of years. So we've raised $55,000. Just yesterday, we introduced a new T-shirt. So already, since yesterday, I have had like 30 orders, and it really hasn't even gone out to the public. So I see lots of money coming in for those T-shirts. We also, and we've done this for, I'd say, a year. We have a local cheese and deli, family-owned market here, and we go to the local businesses in Kenton, and when the schools are in session, all the teachers get on board with this. We drop the order forms off on Monday, and then we collect them on Wednesday, and we deliver the sub to all the businesses that are participating on Thursday before noon.
And all of them should, because I understand it's delicious.
It is delicious. It's a huge sub. It's an 8-inch sub. Yes.
You also get what comes with that.
You get chips or Sun Chips and those little mini, like Famous Amos mini cookies, and a pudding cup or a fruit cup.
All for $6.50.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
We've made our last order, we made $500.
Terrific.
So
now, with all this money that has been donated, what changes would you like to know? We know, obviously, we're in desperate need of a quarantine area.
Well, we have the blueprint for the new shelter. And in the new shelter is obviously the quarantine area. We have an intake area, which right now it's just you walk in the door and there's the desk, and you do everything right there in a little space. But the intake area, there's going to be couches and places that you can sit down and write down your information. We also have an adoption room where they can, if they want to see 3 different pets, they can take one of the pets out, take it to the adoption room, see how if they don't like that one, just like being in a pet store or a groom, a breeder, you can at least have some alone time in a little room with your family and with the dog. There's also a grooming station, which it's like we've died and gone to heaven with that, because most of the time the dogs, they don't even get a bath.
Exactly.
So, and then a vetting place where they can take them to give them their shots. Right now they just do all that in a little tiny office. So it's a great, great plan.
That's wonderful.
And we're so excited for October 1st to come around.
I bet you are. Alice, I understand that Tammy Irvin is the warden there.
Yeah, Tammy Irvin.
And she's been mowing the yard with a push mower.
Yeah.
You and your husband so graciously donated a riding lawnmower to the shelter.
Well, it gets hot, and one day I went out there on a Sunday and I noticed that she was push mowing the lawn, and I don't know if they've always done that, and she never ever said anything to anybody. But so after that, I talked to my husband, and we got them it's a small riding lawnmower, but it does the trick. So we donated a new riding lawnmower for them. That should cut down on some of the time also to push mow. It's an 8.5.
Well, you know me well enough to know that now I have to get into some of the icky stuff.
Okay.
One of the things that really has me irked about this is that I have requested myself, I know others have requested also, from the shelter through the sunshine laws to find out what their youth and kill rates and their save rates are, because they do not have it listed anywhere. Under all of their shelter, on their kill and live rates, they have NA is not applicable. So I've asked for it to the sunshine laws. I've been refused. However, it is an Ohio law. It's actually a national law. And for those unfamiliar with sunshine law, it is open records and open meeting law, given Ohio's access to government records. And this includes the county shelter. But yet, I've been refused. Other people have been refused. It was, I'll get back to you. Never did. We'll get to that. Never did. Now, there is a stipulation. Again, I'll have to look up the sunshine law to be exact, but there is a stipulation factor on that, too. That really has me troubled. And
now, who have you contacted?
I contacted Tammy herself.
Oh, Tammy herself. Okay.
And I believe I spoke with another gal there at one time also, but
right.
And then combine that with the fact that I've even called before to get dogs, and I was told there were no dogs available for adoption. In fact, I knew there were. And I see dogs going from Hardin County being taken over to Wyandotte. And Wyandotte, they keep them or actually put them down immediately. They're not on a 3-day stray hold at that time anymore because they've already used up their stray hold so it's
when we hear they're taking them to Wyandotte, we do have some concern, but we really don't know 100% when they get off the truck. Well, and our shelter is a no-kill shelter, so we have to, when our pens are full, I know Tammy takes them to Toledo, and Toledo is very gracious to take our animals when we are full. As I said, some of our pens don't even fasten.
Correct.
So, when our max is like probably 28, we have 30 pens. I'd say 2 or 3 of them are out of commission. Then we do try to get barely used pets. I know they've used.
And Tiger's excellent. Barely used pets is one of my all-time favorite rescues.
Yeah. Wanda Ratliff, and I don't know her personally. I talk to her all the time. She comes up and tells us who's taking dogs, what rescues are good with the dogs. So I know Tammy tries her hardest to get those dogs somewhere where they can be either adopted out or fostered.
Perhaps in the future, maybe they could contact or put a special plea out to the dogs that they have listed to go to Wyandotte before they're killed, and let us have a little time to work them. I'm going to take a couple of seconds because AARF Radio wants to put out a special plea for a couple of dogs in Hardin County right now. For Kilo, double whammy being a black pit bull. And I would like to also put a plea out for Spot and her son Lance. These are 2 beautiful border collie mixes. And of course she needs a bath desperately, but then again I was always told that there's no hot water to do that. Kilo, Spot, and her son Lance. There's several. I'm going to post the dogs that are at Hardin County right now.
Okay.
And so they can get a little more exposure.
There's also a dog named Bo. Beautiful, looks like a retriever. Slash collie, maybe.
Is he that light-colored, buff-colored one?
Yes. He's very light-colored. He's beautiful.
He's stunning. So he looks like a purebred.
Purebred, yeah. Then there's another one that's named Frankie that looks like a golden retriever, mostly golden retriever. But I don't know what. Every time you go toward him, he backs up into his pen. So he's either been taunted or abused, or he doesn't look abused.
He's in a cage, he's listening to all the barking and screaming. It's hot in there.
Yeah.
It's not the best conditions, so it'll be great to have them in the shelter.
And they get so...
But I know in particular, Kilo being the black pitty, and I got a soft spot for those and the kittens and the cats because they're the first...
Black, and he's a pit. Yeah, that's a toughie.
They're very, very worried. When people have approached me, they're very, very worried about Kilo, Spot, and his son Lance going to Wyandotte, which will be subsequently killed immediately. Please, everyone out there that are in earshot of this, please share those dogs for Hardin County because they are full today. They're not taking in any more owner release.
No, we aren't.
Nope.
No. So, and I do want to say we did have a meeting last night, and 2 commissioners, and I feel positive that October will be the time that we break ground, because we did let them know. I mean, they were gracious, and we were upset, and they said they're going to do their best to honor the October 1st deal, breaking deal. Yeah, the bidding process. So we'll just keep our eyes open.
Could you tell us, Alice, what are the hours of the shelter? When are they open?
I know they're closed on Mondays because that's when they do all their running around, getting citations and dog tags, and so they're open Tuesdays to Friday, 9 to 5, and they are also open Saturdays. I'm thinking 10 to 2 on Saturdays. Sundays closed, although they're out there cleaning the pen and feeding the dogs, but closed Mondays, Sundays, and Mondays.
So they're closed from Saturday, 2 o'clock, closed Sunday, and closed Monday. So I'm sure that they're out there feeding and cleaning during those times, too.
Well, I know the dog warden and her assistant are out there on Mondays. They do not have office hours, although she always says if you're interested in a dog to call or just go out there, and if somebody's out there, they will show you the dog that you're interested in.
I looked everywhere to see what the adoption rates were. I couldn't find them anywhere.
The adoption rates, I thought they were $63, but somebody told me last night there were $62. But that includes your tags, your microchip, your shots, and we do spay and neuter for free.
You do spay and neuter for free, all the animals?
Although it costs, all the ones that get adopted are spayed and neutered. And we do not let them have the dog until the dog is spayed or neutered.
What's your Facebook page? And do you have a page on Facebook, and do you have a website?
The Facebook page is just Hardin County Dog Shelter. Our Facebook was down during the Parvo virus outbreak. We've redone it, and it's up and running.
And is there anywhere there for donations or a donation button or anything?
There's only a Caranda bed that we use quite a bit to get the dogs up from the floor, especially if they've soiled the pen. So we do have a little button you can push to buy one of those, and it goes directly to Tammy, the dog warden, but we can't buy large ones because our kennels do not accommodate large ones.
How large are your kennels?
I don't know. They're old.
They're old and they're small.
Yes. They're not small, but they're also not updated and I don't go around looking at different dog shelters, which I probably should, to see what nice dog shelter really looks like. I'm going to have to put that on my list of things to do.
Alice, I can't thank you enough for coming on today.
Well, I appreciate it. Spay and neuter, I feel like Bob Barker when I say that, but, you know.
Exactly.
It is so important because that's how we get these dogs, and through no fault of their own, they sometimes just don't make it.
Well, we can't rescue ourselves out of it without spay and neuter.
Right. I mean, that's just the name of the game. That's the key to the problems that we see. So
I'm so happy to hear that Hardin County spays and neuters before they let the dog out of the shelter.
Right. Right. That is one thing we're very proud of. It's expensive, and we really do need the Hardin County people to donate to the spay and neuter program that we have at our dog shelter, because we have started this, but we feel like in the long run it's going to make a huge difference. So,
as I said, I'm going to post them on my wall. We'll be posting them with the AARF blog.
Okay.
And anyone that's interested in seeing them, get out there and pick yourself up a pretty puppy, pretty dog.
Oh.
Don't carry cats, do you?
We are not permitted to have cats.
I didn't think so.
So that's the next thing we're going to have to tackle with our Humane Society. Our Humane Society does not house animals at this point in time, but after I get through with this dog shelter project, I am going to start on the cat shelter.
You go, girl. We'll be happy to have you on AARF, and we'll discuss that one.
Okay. Sounds good.
Thanks,
all right, Cassie. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
You are listening to AARF Radio.